The Rugby World Cup has its first banned player, not for what he did on the field, but for what he said off it. His name is Eliota Fuimaono Sapolu. He's a Samoan midfielder who played his first test in 2005 and what may have been his last test against South Africa last Friday. Born in Samoa, raised in Auckland, he's based in England, playing professional rugby for Gloucester. But this afternoon, the IRB suspended him from all rugby after he failed to attend a hearing called to discuss his angry outbursts on Twitter about the Rugby World Cup. The 30-year-old called a ref a racist, compared the treatment of Samoa and other smaller countries at the Cup to slavery and much more, as we'll hear some of it in fairly robust terms. The IRB called him into a formal hearing. He didn't appear. He told me he didn't even know it was on.
I've just recently found out. I've only recently found out that there was a hearing. I did not know when the hearing was going to be.
So the hearing was in Auckland this afternoon, and you're telling me you didn't know about that hearing?
I had absolutely no idea.
So the IRB had not contacted you directly? Had they contacted Manu Samoa? I'm
not too sure. That's the question you're going to have to ask them. If they did, then you think they'll send someone.
Right. So had you known about the hearing, would you have gone?
Good question.
And what's the answer?
Perhaps.
Why might you not have gone?
Well, they don't really have most people's trust at the moment. I mean, you look at a lot of the calls that have been made throughout this World Cup, a lot of injustice has been dealt by the IRB. So, you know, I would struggle to trust that they would come up with a just decision on me.
But isn't this your opportunity to talk to them? Isn't this your opportunity to go before them and say, hey, you guys, this is why I am so outraged, and put it in front of them?
No, I just don't think they would listen anyway. So I would probably go just simply to get punished and then, OK, thanks.
Eliota, you studied at Auckland University, right?
Yes.
Remind everyone what your degrees are in. You have a law degree?
Yeah, I have a law and commerce degree.
And so if you were acting as someone's lawyer and they said, I'm not going to go to court tomorrow, what would you say to them? You would say, turn up, wouldn't you?
But the courts have a lot of trust, you know, and they actually do try to find justice. I'm not too sure about these guys.
OK. So your opinion of them is that low?
It's not low. It's just, you know, we're judged on our actions. And the actions that we've all seen, everyone here in New Zealand and around the world, it's not too good.
Give me an example.
Well, you know, if you can't work out that 7 days is not the same as 3 days off, then there's some screws missing.
So you are talking about the fact that when you played Wales and Hamilton, you guys had 3 days since your previous game, and they had a full week.
It's not just us. You know, a lot of the Tier 2 teams had to play 4 games in 2 weeks. We had the issue with the mouth guards. We had the issue with Scotland being treated like rubbish. We've had the issue with England allowed to cheat and nothing happens. You know, there's so much injustice that's been dealt out there. And I would struggle to find, you know, all of a sudden have my trust in this group of people who can...
Can we talk about the mouth guards? Eliota Fuimaono, your teammate, and his brother, Manu Tuilangi, who plays for England, were wearing these mouth guards, OPRO?
Right.
You all wear those mouth guards, I understand.
I have that mouth guard, and yes, I wear that. Well, I might get fined for this, but I do wear that mouth guard. It is a company in England that comes to our clubs, and we are advised by our clubs to get it done. Everyone in our team does it. And in my team, by the way, is people like Mike Tyndall, so... You know,
so your team's Gloucester?
My team's Gloucester.
And Eliota plays for Leicester?
Right.
So these are England clubs who are all fitted out?
Professionally. They come mould your mouth guard. They do it properly because player welfare is massive. It's the most important thing in England.
In the England clubs?
In the England clubs.
OK. Are you paid to wear those mouth guards?
I'm not paid to wear the mouth guard. I simply wear it because it is fitted, it's done professionally, and... You know, I've had my teeth chipped a few times, as you can see.
Yeah,
So
you want to protect your teeth?
I want to protect my teeth.
Were you given other mouth guards?
We were not given any mouth guards.
The official Rugby World Cup mouth guard?
We were given nothing.
Do you think Eliota Fuimaono is paid to wear those mouth guards?
I would put all my money on, no, he's not.
OK.
I would think he's not.
OK, so they're the only mouth guards you had, and you were given them, and that's what you wear in England?
And I wear it 9 months of the year, so these are our tools, and they keep us safe, and we're not... It's very hard to ask a rugby player, just like rugby boots, to wear a boot for your 9 months out of the year and then for 1 month to wear something else. You know, that's very hard, and it's not safe. It's not safe because your boot affects your ankles, affects your knees.
So do you play in the same boots at Gloucester that you play in for Manu Samoa?
No. So
Okay,
it's very hard.
bad example, Eliota.
No, which is why I've had knee issues in the last week.
Okay. I want to talk about some of your tweets. You called Nigel Owens a racist prick.
Right.
Now, we should remind our viewers that Nigel Owens was the referee at the South Africa-Samoa game at North Harbour, which was a wonderfully tight contest where a couple of calls went against you. Why does that mean he's racist? Can't refs have a bad game without being racist?
It must be coincidencing because they always seem to have bad games when Manu Samoa plays, and that's the problem. I ask everyone to Google 2007 Rugby World Cup, Paul Honus, worst referee in the world. Now, what happened was after that game, Manu Samoa versus South Africa, the New Zealand Herald, not a Samoan magazine or Samoan Opinions, published an article saying that Paul Honus was the worst referee in the world. And then you had hundreds of New Zealand replies. Now, this is not I didn't mean racist in the terms of black and white. It's not a black and white. It's just a Samoan team. I can only speak on the Samoan team because I play. We always get bad referees. We always get the stereotype that we don't know how to play rugby, the stereotype that we're thugs, we're violent, we're stupid. We always get that. I tweeted before the Rugby World Cup, please, everybody, all we ask is fair referees. Now, you can have a look on my Twitter. That's all we wanted was fair referees because I was playing the game in 2007 where New Zealand called Paul Honus the worst referee in the world. Please, Lord, let's not have it again. Now, we had a lot of bad calls in that game, not just one. We had a lot of bad calls in that game. And when I said he's biased, there is an apparent conflict of interest.
So when you used the word racist, you meant that you feel that referees have preconceived notions about Samoa and
Absolutely.
they referee you guys harder than they referee the teams you're playing.
Absolutely, and no referee wants to be a part of an upset.
Okay.
So,
Do you really believe that? So no referee wants to be responsible for...
Sorry, I take that back. I'll take that back. They will get questioned. And
Okay.
they will get questioned by a big union if they're upset by a small...
Eliota, everyone watching tonight is going to be struck by your focus, the fact that whether or not they agree with you, you are clearly a man of principle. And yet you go and tweet, IRB, my bum, kiss it. Right. Now, that sounds like the sort of thing I would have written on my pencil case when I was 14. In other words, haven't you lost the crucial and central message because you've been emotive and over the top in the way you've expressed it?
Mate, even 14-year-olds, there's some smart ones out there, There's one who hacked the DVD code, by the way, was first...
Except address the point I'm making. You're raising crucial issues here about scheduling, about the way referees do, perhaps arguably, have notions about...
And amongst that...
And haven't you lost that because what you were saying you said in such completely over-the-top terms?
No, that's not over the top at all. When you are treated like crap, when you are treated like shit, then something like that is nothing, If you look at the substance of all the other tweets, then why can't I just have a little crack like that? It's just something small, and that's how I feel.
Holocaust?
Holocaust? Do you want me to explain that?
Yes.
I'll explain that because it's very hard. Essentially, when you get apartheid, when you get the Holocaust, when you get slavery, you have a group of people treating another group of people like crap. A group of people thinking that they're more superior and they can do whatever they want to another group of people. Now, obviously, in this instance, there wasn't a culling of 6 million Samoans or 6 million Jews, 6 million rugby players. But essentially, the root of that evil was, I am allowed to treat this person like shit.
Okay.
And so there's a parallel there, albeit a very small.
Eliota, if you don't say the right things to the IRB, if you don't fall on your sword and apologise and do all that kind of stuff, these people have the power to ban you for life.
Right.
And abusing a referee is pretty serious. Explicitly abusing a referee is pretty serious. Are you prepared for that?
Well, I would debate about whether it's abusing the referee, but, just with everything that's gone on, everything that our people have had to endure, I do believe that I'm just pointing out injustice.
And you are prepared to keep pointing it out in these terms, despite the fact it may cost you your rugby career?
Yes, absolutely.
You really mean that?
Yes, it's I studied for a reason. I made sure that there was backup, So should that happen, then it happens. But, the whole idea is that we don't treat the next generation to treat another person like shit.
Wow. Eliota Fuimaono Sapolu, thank you so much for your time.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. And I'd just like to thank the New Zealand public The Rugby World Cup has been very special for Samoa, and I know for a lot of Tier 2 teams. I played in 2007 in France, and the atmosphere and the love from the people here totally blows 2007 out of the water. I'd just like to thank you. Really sorry about all the other issues. You know, the IRB issues has absolutely nothing to do with the people here in New Zealand. You've been beautiful, you've opened up your hearts, and on behalf of Manu Samoa, I'd like to thank you so much for your support.